Welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. I am your tolerologist, Dirty Folks. And I'm late, but the audio worked. Appreciate y'all being here. Today is Sermon Sunday, and I'm feeling real inspired. Real inspired. Apparently, even though nobody really slide up on my shows, everybody know my stance on everything. It's crazy. I go on other people, they be like, yo, she got clothes on. I be like, yo, you would think I'd be bigger since everybody steal my tags. But somebody gonna steal my shit and be huge and then be like, oh, they ain't gonna give a shout out. They gonna disrespect the number one Lord Power, everything. Which goes to today's show. Most of the people whom which you, I don't want to say worship, but that are in your books of worship weren't men who were respected in their own time. They may have been men of belief. They may have been men of righteousness, but they weren't men of popularity. Depending on what religion you go by, but a lot of y'all go by the Judaic religions. Jesus was the most, well, that's not true. King David, King Solomon, Jesus were the only three like popular people in that whole book. That was it. Noah was a drunk. Abram was 100-year-old nigga with no money and no kids, no real livestock. He was nothing of real import. Ahab was known for having a crazy toddler wife. I don't even know what the story of Ahab, what was dude Jonah. I don't even know what Jonah had to do with the Bible. To be honest with you, he got swallowed by a whale and then spat out a flower. Look, ain't nobody messing but his wife. Here's the thing, man. When it comes down to your belief, the people who believed and trailblazed the spiritual sustenance for other people is unknowns, right? But those people made your Bibles. You know what I'm saying? The people made your Bibles. So I was looking at these fun facts, man, and I want to talk about how you. I'm speedballing because this show just for me, man, and nobody else show up. It's this for me. I want to show people how your name should be in revisionist Bibles if your religion was living. Because the Akdas is a living religion. So I think about that all the time. But I just want to do a quick thing on how people name came into the got into the Bible. It's a process to it. So we're just gonna skim through this and I'm gonna stop it every once in a while and say some cool shit. Let's skim through it.
The New Testament. If you open up a Bible to its table of contents, you'll see it's made up of two large collections, the Old and New Testaments. The word testament refers to a covenant partnership, which is what both of these collections are all about. They tell one epic and complicated story of God's covenant partnership with Israel and all humanity. The Old Testament is called Tanakh in Jewish tradition. It's a unified scroll collection of 39 Israelite texts that were over 1,000 years in the making. In contrast, the 27 books of the New Testament all came into existence within 30 to 40 years of each other.
All right. So the Old Testament, which he calls the Tanakh, but a lot of people also call the Torah, were 39 stories over the course of 1,000 years that started with Adam and ended with Obez. And it's really just a story of one Jewish family. It's a diary, if you will. The New Testament is all about Jesus, and it's written by a bunch of people who saw Jesus. Jesus didn't say nothing, but it was like if the Rolling Stones and Double XL and the Source all had stories about Eminem, and then Eminem was your Messiah, then you'll have 27 books written by 27 different people about Eminem telling you how to praise Eminem. That would be uh the closest thing I could get to that. Now, of those books, because the books themselves are just a way in which to give you parables, give you advice, share stories about the people whom which believed in the spirituality that that particular religion believed in. Nothing more, nothing less. So you would think that with all the believers over the last 2,000 years, there would be one one more person in 2,000 years that also believed in the Jesuses as much as those people did 2,000 years ago. But apparently,
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Yeah.
so what ends up happening is this. So at that point, you have to wonder to yourself, when did that religion die? Well, apparently that religion died. I can't even say that. I can't even say that. You would think that that religion died 2,000 years ago when Jesus died 2,000 years ago, but not quite. So, for those that know the Council of Nicaea, what they did was they took the actual religion.
Finishing the work of Nicaea in 380.
Shut up. 300 years later, they made it Christianity. They took all those stories. It took all those stories from the 1,500 years before, rolled them up, threw out some books they didn't want Eli out of there, the book of Ahab out of there. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things they just didn't include because it didn't make the story flow as well as it should have. And they made every little book a chapter because they was about to say it's like a Reader's Digest. The Bible like a Reader's Digest. They put all these little stories in there, and they said, "Let's see how it roll." So let's go back and we're gonna check out the council. I see if it's something that stands out. I'll stop and explain it. But let's go. Because this is not about the religion. This is about how you get your name in the book. How can Professor be in the Bible? Let's go.
81 AD. In our last video on the Council of Nicaea, we discovered that while Constantine and his happy band of bishops succeeded in penning the Nicene Creed, which was a fantastic basis for Christian orthodoxy, they did a fairly rubbish job of actually applying that in their home diocese. As a result, in the next 60 years, Constantine himself switched back to Arianism as a means of keeping the empire together, and the great Saint Jerome complained that the whole world was Arian.
Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Because Arianism means something different today than it did back then. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. Because now when you think Aryan, you think white people. You think Saxon knights and things of that nature. What Aryan simply mean back then was, hold on, we'll come back to this. You gotta talk.
Arianism.
I love that. I love when I do that. I'm doing it again.
Arianism.
An influential hearsay denying of the divinity of Christ, originating with the Alexandrian priest Arius. Arianism maintained that the Son of God was created by the Father and was therefore neither co-eternal with the Father nor consubstantial. So basically, Arianism is saying that Jesus was not the Son of God because Jesus was not a person. Thus, he couldn't have been the child of Mary because he couldn't have been a human being. He had to be an abstract created by God, like an image, like a to the extent of how mythologizes Athena and Zeus, how they come amongst the people every once in a while and be like, "Yo, Athena be slide down on you,
Name your town after me, punk.
and then you name your town Athens after Athena because she came and hollered at you, and you make statues to Athena, even though she a god, she don't have a physical form." They were saying that that's what Jesus was. He was a mythological religious figure such as Athena or any other, mythological god, and that was called Arianism. So the pressure of the date and time that even after the Constantinople said, "Yo, Jesus was real. He was the Son of God in the physical flesh, and he died for our sin." Everybody else was like, "Nah, son," and he didn't want to lose the influence of the kingdom, so he was like, "All right, cool. Arianism it is." He was a boogeyman. All right, let's go.
Constantine himself died in 337, but his son, who succeeded him, was totally Arian. Athanasius, the champion of the truth, who had the theology right, was booted out of the church multiple times. At the same time, a bishop called Apollinarius from Syria was so unhappy with Arius that he swung too far the other way. He claimed that not only was Jesus fully God, but that he was so godly he wasn't really human. Apollinarius claimed that Jesus was essentially a human body with a divine soul, and not truly human at all. Well, clearly all this fighting was no good, so Pope Damasus asked the new emperor, Theodosius, to call a council. It's interesting that the Pope couldn't call one himself because he didn't yet have that power. So they met at Constantinople, the new capital of the Roman Empire. At the council, both Arianism and Apollinarianism were rejected. In response to Apollinarius, a great guy called Gregory of Nazianzus stated that whatever is not assumed is not healed. In other words, whatever did not get nailed to that cross in Jesus wasn't saved if he didn't have a human soul.
Man, look, I'm not going. I'll abridge the rest. Basically, what they did is they created it as you know it now. So now Jesus was human. He had to be human because if he didn't have a soul, then he couldn't have died for your sins and cleanse your soul. Because if he was a deity, then he wouldn't have a soul, which means your sins would still have to be redeemed by you and blah blah blah. Theology, not my point. My point is they had a council in Nicaea and they worked out who would be in the Bible, who wouldn't be in the Bible, and they had battles. They had battles. There are a lot of documentation and other videos that include artwork and all type of stuff that most of the disciples were were swarthy men, right? Most of the disciples were swarthy men, but the people who were in charge were Italians, right? Romans and various Turks because they weren't in Turkey. That well, Constantinople is now Turkey, Istanbul, stuff like that. So, just on the simple, flow that we're gonna whitewash history around here. We're gonna whitewash history. Those other people they not mentioned, but it is what it is. So my point of what I'm establishing is that the people in the Bible were written in the Bible by people with authority to write the Bible. Rome right now has authority to remix the Bible at any time they want it. They could throw anybody in there that they want to, but they haven't. No other prophets, nobody else has seen things in their particular religion, which makes me say that that is a dead religion, which perfectly encapsulate the Western Hemisphere. America in particular, because America loves to worship dead people. Only country with dead people on their money, dead people in their churches. History, generally speaking, is about people, about the past, so those people will be dead. But they remix history so much that they really don't add too much more to history. Just dead. So you worship dead. The fight is fight in America, and we about to get to Islam. The fight in America is, yo, which dead people did we come from? You know what I'm saying? Because when you from a culture that the bitches don't even want to know you to know who your biological father is, the likeliness of you being able to trace back what your original tribe is slim to none. Plus your tribe was over here, unless you didn't come from over here. So if you an immigrant, then you know what I'm saying, your people somewhere else. But everybody is one immigrants. Which, real quick, because another thing was, yo, if the priests have the ability to write the Bible or teach the Bible, whether any priestess is, the answer is no. By the way, there's absolutely zero priests. As a matter of fact, they tell you women should not teach nor preach. So the fact that these Hebrew Israelites got so many goddamn priestesses, bro, add that to the reason. Don't be a shirtless forest dude. I want to get into Islam real quick because Islam is that one exception to the rule. That one exception to the rule. Or that one time somebody else wrote their name in the Bible.
How do you become a saint?
Hold on. Yo, we speedballing. That ain't the one. They skip something? Nah. Oh, I switched my own order. That is next. We're not gonna go to Islam yet. We're gonna talk about how you become a saint in the Christian. We gonna finish out Christianity and Catholicism. How do you become a saint? Let's go.
Do you have to be a priest or nun? False. Everyone in the church is called to holiness.
Let's skip to the end. It gets good at the end. And it also shout out to this though. It also dispels a lot of rumors like the devil's advocate and things of that nature. And the reason I'm gonna just play that small part is because I want to make a point. So let's check this out.
Devil's advocates still exist? False. The so-called devil's advocate was abolished in 1983 by John Paul II to simplify the process of canonization.
So you have to make an application. There is a literal application to become a saint in Christianity. In my lifetime, I think the only saint that I remember, well, I think it's two of them, but the one I really remember from my childhood was Mother Mary. She used to give away food and stuff all around the world, and when she died, they gave her sainthood. But she's the only one that I could really think of. But if there used to be a devil's advocate to try to prove that the person going up for sainthood may not be worthy, but Pope John Paul II abolished that in 1983, so it's not an edict from God, it's an edict from man to become a saint. But it's cool.
In the past, the devil's advocate prepared objections to the candidate's sanctity with the goal of verifying the solidity of the arguments in favor or to identify their weaknesses. This role was taken over by the promoter of the faith with a much more nuanced role. Do you have to be beatified first? True. Beatification is the intermediate step towards canonization. If the candidate is declared a martyr, he or she is immediately declared blessed. Otherwise, a miracle must be recognized, attributed to his or her intercession. In any case, a miracle is required after beatification for someone to be canonized a saint.
I'm pausing it, man, just for fair use. But if you're a martyr, like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, if you're a martyr, then you have to, after you become a martyr, after you become a Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X or a Gandhi, then after you dead, somehow you got to do a miracle. So not only do you have to die, then you also have to perform a miracle after you dead to get canonized. So let's check this out. They passed that part up. Hold on, bring that. I want to show that right real quick. Just the paperwork side.
Needed? True. Church law requires one miracle after the death of the candidate for sainthood in order to be beatified, and one miracle after beatification to be canonized as a saint.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that is crazy. If you a martyr, then you automatically get beatified, right? So you skip one miracle. But if you die, you need a miracle in order to be beatified. If you die as a martyr, then you can skip the that one miracle. Then you got to do a second miracle unless you're a martyr. Then you still got to come up with a miracle to become a saint. So that means that if Martin Luther King or Malcolm X doesn't perform a miracle, they could never be Saint Malcolm or Saint Martin. They just dead. They just not here with us no more. Now here's the crazy part of that though. The craziest part of that is most saints became saints for the amount of colors that they killed. You know what I'm saying? Saint Patrick became a saint because he slew all the tawny pygmies in Ireland. Saint Nicholas became a saint because of the genocide that he did in the eastern bloc of Europe, all the way up to and what was the war, man? Norway? I think the war was in Norway. Angry say had somebody who did perform. Hey, look, bro. This is bigger than Nino Brown, bro. This is bigger than Nino Brown. I look. Hey, I didn't, not my religion. I didn't make the rules. I'm just showing y'all the rules. So, in order for them to have to remix the Bible again to make a new saint, or to put your name in the Bible to make it actual living Bible, like you really believed in the faith and you really did well, so they put you in the Bible right next to Noah drunk ass and goddamn it, man, what's my name, Abraham, who got molested by his daughters, but yet still he's still in there, or that gang banging ass nigga King David who brought a gun to a knife fight. For you to be in the book with them cats, I'm assuming you would have to be a saint, and you can't get a sainthood because you can't do a miracle after you're dead. So it's a dead religion. And when I say dead religion, I mean kind of like Latin is a dead tongue. Like it exists, but people don't use it anymore, right? You just worshiping the dead at that point. And we're going to get to an actual religion that does worship the dead in a minute. But before we get to that, I want to talk about Islam. How Islam is the exception to the rule on a person that wrote themselves into the Bible. Kinda. Let's see. Hold on, we can skip a lot of this. Let's go to right here. I'm gonna point something out on this too, because I find it absolutely amusing. For all the people that say that blacks are the original Jews, I wouldn't claim that. Just like I don't claim black on black crime, because all crime is based on proximity. But this is a very interesting story, and it's not the full story, but you know, it's as much story as you can get in 4 minutes. Let's go. I'm sure they just put that music in just so motherfucker can't get monetized. Anyway.
Ibn Abdullah was born in 570 in the Arabian town of Mecca. He had a difficult childhood. His father died before he was born, and he lost his mother when he was only 6, so he was ultimately raised by an uncle, a merchant who taught Muhammad many tricks of the trade. Muhammad learned quickly, and by the time he was a teenager, he had earned the nickname El Amin, the one you can trust. As he grew
All
up,
right, so wait. Here's the thing. So Muhammad, like many kids at that time, and many kids today, especially if your mama trailer park or black, he was a foster kid. Let's go.
older, Muhammad became aware of the moral deficiency of his fellow Meccans. They worshipped idols, neglected women and the poor, and were materialistic. He was increasingly disturbed by this reality and began to spend more and more time alone, meditating and fasting. According to Muslim tradition, it was during this period that Muhammad received a life-changing revelation in the form of the angel Gabriel. Gabriel commanded Muhammad to spread the belief in one God, or Allah in Arabic, and recite divine verses that would eventually be included in the Quran, Islam's central religious text.
Let's pause it right there. We can stop right here. It's a lot of war that goes on. It's a lot of gang banging. As a matter of fact, I am going to get to the gang banging part. I am going to let it rock. But let me say this. In order for Muhammad to be in the Bible, he had to write his own Bible. For those that don't know, and I know y'all, a lot of y'all are intelligent, but for those that don't know, the Quran is its own religion by the definition of the word religion. Re means again, right? Reverse, remove. Re means to do something again. Religion comes from legion, which means to come together. So religion is basically for your legions to come together again, or to commune, to fellowship. That's all religion means, to fellowship at a particular time on a regular basis. Now, he had to create his own rules of his belief system because 500 years after Jesus died, 200 years, 150 years after the Council of Nicaea, which actually made the Jews the chosen people. Fun fact, also, the Jews supposedly being the chosen people and the people in Mecca, because all this thing right now was the Palestine and Israeli war. That's that land. I don't know if y'all know this, but they were all polytheistic. Shout out to them. They all believed in several gods. They didn't believe in one God. They didn't believe in the God of Moses and Abraham. They believed in all type of shit in real time. They want you to believe that they were a united front, but they were not. They didn't even believe in that bullshit, nigga. They didn't even believe in goddamn it pregnant virgins and motherfucking. But Muhammad come through, supposedly hollered at the Saint Gabriel, right? The angel Gabriel, who was a saint. That they don't talk about that much anymore. You hear about Peter. You don't really hear about Gabe like that. There were 7. There were 7 saints, 7 original angels, but they don't even talk about it like that now. And he started writing rules. And the rules that he wrote from the visions that he got, the words that he got from Gabe, he was writing them down. And those tenets became part of the Quran. Not the total Quran, but became a part of it. It's Muhammad's freestyle raps. That's what I'm going to call them, freestyle raps. Muhammad's freestyle raps are in the Quran, but they're not religious texts, but they're part of the book. Just like Ecclesiastics. Like poems or psalms, however you want to say it. Psalms is just King David writing his raps. All the songs and psalms, it's King David writing his raps. They made it in the book, but they not God's word. They Dave's word. And Ecclesiastics is just Solomon's diary. Like, yo, being broke or being rich, you still gonna die. If you meet 1,000 men, want to be cool. You meet 1,000 women, toddlers gonna toddle. Really, what he said is out of 1,000 men, one is righteous. Out of 1,000 women, there are none. I'm just gonna say out of 1,000 women, you found 1,000 goddamn toddlers. That's nothing new under the sun, which is also in Ecclesiastics. Just Solomon writing down freestyles and shit. The Quran has its own version of that, where Muhammad just throw out his freestyles. But in between that, it's a pamphlet for how to live your life and how to get to heaven, how to live your life righteously. What's what beliefs will make you great in the eyes of God. And I salute that. I salute that. But it's an extension of the Old Testament. The Quran is the New Testament. If you want to see it like that, it is the remixed New Testament. So they still use the Old Testament. They still use those 37 books or whatever it is. But the 26 books in the New Testament, when they talk about Jesus, they cut that shit out like pap 'em, and they just threw the Quran right there. Like, nah, Jesus, nah, this nigga Muhammad, nigga, fuck that nigga Jesus. So let's continue, because I want to get to the gang banging part.
Text. 3 years later, Muhammad set out to share his vision. But while the minority Jews and Christians believed in a singular God, most of the surrounding Arabs were polytheists and did not. This didn't deter Muhammad, however. In the beginning, he managed to convert around 40 people in spite of opposition from the
40 people. He started tribing up with 40 people. All we need is 15. He started game banging with 40 people. Just looking for 15. It don't take many of us, but less is more, nigga. It's plenty of us. That's all it takes is a small amount to change the world. Shout out. I be feeling like Muhammad around these parts. Trying to get y'all from worshiping some other shit. Everywhere you go. I'm not even gonna make this super long. So that's a lot of things I'm gonna leave out. I'm gonna leave out um Confucianism and Hinduism. I'm gonna leave out a lot of stuff. But I just want to say this. Because it's not about that. Because Confucianism doesn't have people in their Bible. The Quran and the Bible do. So it's off my topic. Also, Hinduism is based on a caste system. So it's about if your dad was a plumber, you were going to be born to be a plumber or whatever you got chosen to be, but you have to be that, right? They call it the Dali. I can't remember the name of it, but there's no real people, like there is no evolution, like this person did this person did that. It's basically on the caste system of this is what you were born to do. Doesn't apply to Americans because Americans live in a free market society, so you don't live on a caste system. Even though if you're poor, you can work hard and be rich. So it doesn't apply. Also, they don't have people they write in their Bible. They just have deeds that based on whichever arm of the Hindu thingy. Just talking about how you should be able to put your name in worship if you worship hard enough. How you should be celebrated for perpetuity for what you were, because that is your history. If the goddamn tiny hats got a book to tell you about their whole history, but your libraries keep getting burned down, so you don't know your history, or you keep letting girls choose her own lovers, so you don't know your history, or whatever the case may be that you don't know your own history. then you have to establish your culture from where your culture is established. The same way everybody else did. Everybody else did the same thing. Christianity didn't happen until Jesus Christ. Islam didn't happen until Muhammad taught to Gabe. You got to begin at the beginning. Wherever you at, that's your starting point. And from there, the best amongst you should be worshipped in perpetuity. All right, so when it comes to worshiping a living spirit, I don't want to say God. When it comes to worshiping a living spirit, I gotta give a shout out to Africa for this. Even if y'all niggas really was slave ass niggas and y'all really did believe y'all was from Africa, you would think this would be your religion, but you know, black just means you don't want to be white. It don't mean you really want to have a culture. Even if y'all think y'all colored motherfuckers was from Africa, even though y'all call yourself African American, all type of goofy shit, but don't do shit from Africa. Anyway, let's go to the voodoo religion. Let's kick it off.
We don't believe in heaven and hell. There is only life.
Let's bring that back. I'ma close caption that, baby. It is closed caption. Man, say it again.
We don't believe in heaven and hell. There is only life.
Oh man, ain't no captions. We don't believe in heaven or hell. There's only life. At least they have a living religion. Spirituality is for those still alive with a spirit. How you gonna worship the spirit of the dead? The dead don't have. That's crazy. You know what though? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's why. Let's go.
Voodoo is an Afro-Caribbean nature religion. It essentially is a monotheistic religion. They believe that there is only one God, but that God is distant. He's unreachable. And so that God communicates to us through what they refer to as the Loa. They're sort of partly saints, partly spirits. Each one of them has a particular function. If you have love issues, you go to one particular Loa. If you have issues about security or safety or money, you can go to a different Loa. These Loas form a relationship with the voodooist.
Let me pause that real quick. They don't call it polytheism. Kinda sorta is. I mean, it's no different than the Akdas teaching that Thanda is the goddess of love, that Takati is the god of war, that Hikmat is the god of judgment. A particular deity for a particular task and duty. That is more natural to what you are. It don't matter who you are. That is more natural to what you are than worshiping some fucking tiny hats in the goddamn desert. Fucking sand niggers. Y'all worship these motherfucking merchant thieves from a book that tells you that you should not, that it's a sin to charge interest, but these motherfuckers, the bankers, make that make sense. And will fight and take your shirt off and run in the forest to be part of that shit. Argue with motherfuckers with tiny hats about you should be the motherfucker with the tiny hat. When naturally, even them, and they begin, they got for a certain thing. They ain't had no bipolar ass God. You the God of love, but vengeance is yours. I'm supposed to come to you with my troubles, but you the one flooding me and sending locusts. Alright. They believe in one God, but they believe in different spirits. So that's the same as saying they believe in different angels for different things, right? So one God could be what? Kronos or Zeus. And then everybody else is like Apollo, Athena. Everybody had, that's a natural law thing. One omnipresent God is a control system for one world government. It's just an easier way for one person to control. Like you, once they get used to you believing in one thing, like one goofy black bitch is the word on the street. One motherfucking president, because y'all don't care about y'all aldermen or mayors or senators. Y'all don't talk to your local government. Y'all just think the president is a king. They get you used to thinking one motherfucker could do everything, and then if that one motherfucker falls short, you can't follow no other man. Y'all niggas crazy. This is natural law. So shout out to them. This is not my religion, but this is closer to what religion is supposed to be, a living spiritual experience. That's all I want to say about that. Anyway.
They become essentially the same kind of relationship that many Catholics have with their saints. The center of voodoo currently, of course, is the island nation of Haiti, but voodooists will tell you.
I'm gonna let this play just because I want you to know why y'all were told by white supremacy that voodooism is a bad religion. But it goes right back to what he just said about the religion that voodoo has with their deities is no different than Christians have with their saints. How many times have you worshiped the saint? Y'all don't even worship Jesus. Y'all call Jesus and God interchangeable. When the last time you say, yo, Saint Peter, I really need you. Saint Gabriel, I really need you. Saint Mark, come save me. I ain't heard that shit. It's one world, or y'all mind is fixed on one motherfucker at all times. So even if y'all had the option to do that, y'all still don't do it. So shout out to them for having natural law.
You that voodoo itself is a religion that goes back centuries and centuries all the way to Africa. It's a religion that the slaves brought to Haiti themselves.
Alright, animal sacrifice, all that's cool. I want to get past this. I want to get to the Haitian War. This look like some Haitian War type shit. Oh, that's some good times type shit. They gonna give me flag. Hey, for the record though, hold on, cause it's art. They might let it slide. For the record, I told y'all black women want to be naked at all times. They want to be naked. Y'all keep trying to put clothes on these goofy bitches. Let them be naked, man. Anyway.
Together, made a vow to each other and to the Loa to fight for their liberation. That moment launched the only successful slave revolt in history. It resulted in a free and independent Haiti. This moment has also become a flashpoint in modern Haitian politics. It is a source of conflict between those Haitians, proud voodooists, who see this moment as the beginning of the birth of their nation, and those Christians, primarily evangelical missionaries, who believe that in calling on the Loa to help, that Satan has now taken possession of Haiti, and indeed that all of Haiti's problems, its economic stagnation.
No, the economic problems come from the sanctions. I want y'all to understand that though. When they went out, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna let them repeat what he said. When you have your own God, because when y'all worship Christianity, y'all worship from the point of the slave. Y'all think that y'all are victims. You pray for somebody to bring you salvation. When they pray to their own God, they have motherfucking crusades, nigga. They kill. They don't beg. They kill for their God. You beg their God for salvation, for some type of help. You're on the wrong side because it ain't your fucking God. But who am I to tell you what to believe in? Because they already told you what to believe in, nigga. Look. But when the Haitians, which were really Africans in Haiti, because Haitians had such a high turnover, man, so many people died in the sugar plantations that they just had to keep bringing in more and more slaves from Africa, more imported. I'm gonna call it imported personnel. So really, they was like first and second generation Africans. So when they prayed to their God and their God delivered, your God called them devils. Think about that.
Hell no, to the no, yeah.
All these motherfucking, we black Baptist preachers, and all they did was sold you down the river. All the Jesse Jacksons and Martin Luthers, all they did was sold you down the river, rebranded you from color to color. Then they gave you a goddamn double continent so you could be bipolar. How the fuck you gonna be from the African continent and the American continent simultaneously? This shit makes no fucking sense. But y'all let them keep doing you shit, calling you a color. Now everybody with a color is supposed to be your ally. Where all these motherfuckers coming through the border from Venezuela and Haiti and where the fuck are they your allies? Nah, nigga, motherfuckers scared to walk the streets in Chicago and New York. These ain't your fucking friends. All these Christian motherfuckers ain't your fucking friends. They might be friends to the white man, cause that's his God. Ain't your fucking friends, cause it ain't your God. And when your God show up, they call your God the devil. Whole life you been scared. Oh, voodoo, running from my magic. Oh, Ouija boards. That's your shit. Got you hating you. And then you want to be autonomous? You want to be sovereign? For what? Y'all niggas crazy. Only need 15 people, man. Everybody else will waste anyway.
All of Haiti's problems, its economic stagnation, its corruption.
And well, let's go back to right.
Nation, and those Christians, primarily evangelical missionaries, who believe that in calling on the Loa to help, that Satan has now taken possession of Haiti, and indeed,
if you pray to your God, Satan took over. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, as story progresses, we got one more. Then I'm gonna get up out of here. Like and sub, man. I ain't even asked y'all for no daycare fees, man. But if y'all want to contribute to the daycare, if y'all learn something, man, I will accept daycare fees. Well, like and sub, man. Fatty over there gossiping. He got 600 people in the chat gossiping about shit that happened on Fight Club. I be trying to teach y'all shit. 10 people show up. Yeah. I'm gonna quit doing live streams, man. Fuck this channel. I'm already run my ads and man my business. Anyway. Last religion is the Wicca. Because and the reason I'm showing this is because there's a misconception that the Wicca religion and the Voodoo religion are the same, and they are not. However, black people don't do paperwork right, so Voodoo is not a recognized religion, even though we all know it's real. Especially if you ever been down to New Orleans. So they calling it the Wicca, even though it ain't Wicca. But let's go.
Religion that we have not yet featured on the channel, so stay tuned to learn something new. Hey guys, welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and working on this episode, it really helped me to clear up many false ideas, and I know this is going to be a very interesting episode for you guys, so definitely stick around until the end. Okay, so let's jump into the facts. We're going from 10 all the way down to number 1. For fact number 10, Wicca is actually a religion that can be traced back to the 1940s and 1950s in England to a man named Gerald Russo Gardner. After a period of time working across Asia, he published the book Witchcraft Today in 1954, and then he started a movement based on pre-Christian traditions with 3 main pillars. And those pillars were magic, respect for nature, and worship of the goddesses and other deities. The word Wicca can be traced back to the year 1970 to 1975 with roots on its Old English term meaning male sorcerer. Now the Old English term Wicca is also the origin of the word witch. Now one very important thing to note is that paganism, Wicca, and witchcraft aren't interchangeable terms as mainstream media sometimes tends to lead people to believe.
Yeah, that's the whole point I wanted to make. I don't know. I guess we could check out the other 8, but that's my point. Wicca, paganism, polytheism, voodoo, all those are different things, man, but they'll call everything Wiccan. And they'll give everything a pentagon, and they'll call it devil worship and all type of stuff. Oh, shit, what happened? I don't even know what happened.
Wicca and all of the subsets are pagan, but not all pagans are Wiccan. Many pagans, including Wiccans, choose to practice witchcraft, but not all of them do so. So one may choose to look at witchcraft as a tool as opposed to a religious ritual or religious practice. Now, another important aspect of Wiccan beliefs is the set of 4 or 5 elements of nature. Some hold to the earlier Greek conception of the classical elements: air, fire, water, earth.
I didn't watch that before y'all. I just saw number 9, and that was the point I wanted to make. I was gonna watch it all the way through, and I'm sure that the Wiccan religion is some cool stuff that y'all can look on your own. I've just decided that dude is boring as shit. Like, I don't like his presentation. He might be informative, but I just decided I don't like him. It's not true. I don't like his presentation. I don't know that man not to like him. I don't like his presentation. One of the things that we do, though, I'm gonna talk about the Agnostic religion real quick. I wasn't. This wasn't even on my to-do list, but I think I will, because he just said something about the 4 elements of water, air, fire, and wind that come together to make Captain Planet. Wicca is Captain Planet. Goddamn Captain Planet Wicca. Because we do have we have rituals. Hold on, let me see something. I'm gonna regret doing this. I know it's not gonna work out for me. But we have rituals as well. But the one thing I wanted that he triggered in my memory when he started talking about the Captain Planet shit was the importance in our belief system to minerals. There's a religious in American North America, not the country of United States of America, in Northern America, the indigenous people to America, the, if you want to call it, the FBAs of America, there is a tie to the minerals of the spiritual of the religion here that y'all don't know about, and a lot of that comes down to here's some natural law shit. There's a reason that black girls love rocks, nigga. They love rocks. Yoni rocks, crack rocks. Black bitches love rocks. There's a reason for that though, because rocks, generally speaking, are minerals, and there's an intrinsic spiritual natural law thing to it. So even though it's got something to do with something all the way different, I'm gonna say, where's that? What goddamn rocks? I gotta find the rocks. What are rocks? I'll show you what I'm looking at. I'll show you what I'm looking at. But I can't find my rocks. So the rocks must be somewhere else. So this is what it is, man. This is the outline to the Marry Your Secretary app. But y'all don't pay y'all daycare fees, so I can't get the app design, man. Y'all rebuke. But anyway, part of that is the whole secretary app is based on the commercial that I do when I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, such and such credits away from marriage. All that comes down to the Marry Your Secretary app. You got to be a certified tolerologist. She got to be a certified toddler, and then y'all could just make it happen. Part of the marriage rituals, we don't do rings. We do necklaces, chokers, if you wish. And in those chokers, depending on what her traits are, there's an actual, there, go right here. Woman is presented with a choker during the engagement period. At wedding, it will be replaced with a necklace that includes clear quartz, black tourmaline, black what the fuck is that word? Obsidian. Yeah, black obsidian, jade, pyrite, smithsonite, and the groom's birthstone. So basically, the stones, and there's a actual reason for it. Like some, like quartz, for instance, right? Quartz keeps you calm. Like when I was a kid, I had purple quartz on my nightstand because it's supposed to take all the evil spirits and suck them into the mineral so that you have a good night's sleep, so you don't have nightmares. Like there's a reason for all of the minerals that they use, and for what? Except yoni rocks. I still don't know what the fuck a yoni rock is for. But hey man, look, I told you to apply the crack. Bitches love rocks. They love crack rocks. So I threw that crack in there. Crack rocks, yoni rocks, motherfucking pop rocks. Bitches love rocks. Niggas with Down syndrome and chew rocks. I don't know. The bitches love rocks. But there's every not necessarily Christianity itself, but Judaism is based on commerce. That's why one of the Christ's first documented things was turning over the money teller, which is basically kicking over the cash register. Like, man, how y'all selling merch in church? How y'all selling merch in church? Bad enough y'all selling these cheap ass chicken dinners for $10. Now you selling T-shirts and apparel in church. Turned the church to a flea market, my nigga, because it's a mercantile religion. If Martin Luther King was shot by a 30-06 rifle, 30-06, assassinated, became a martyr. From Martyr Martin, if Martin became a saint, would y'all put a 30 up? Would y'all put a rifle on a charm? Unless you a gangster rapper. Gangster rappers, they do all type of shit. Just regular guy. Would y'all put a fucking 30-06 on a charm? No. But y'all let these motherfuckers sell you the weapon that Jesus got killed on. Y'all buying crosses, that's a murder weapon. Y'all buying murder weapons for Jesus. It's a mercantile religion. I'm not saying, I ain't even talking spirituality. I'm talking about the religion. How they merchandise it. And it's always been like that. The for those that know, the crusades between Christians and Islam was about the money, who gonna get the money on the trip to Mecca. A mercantile religion. Dollar dollar bill, y'all. Not about God at all. Anyway, Motivational Mitch said, man, Lakewood Church helped him be a better tax collector and money changer. That is hilarious. You need some goats. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition indeed. Shout out to Dale for the $5 cash app, man. Gratitude, sir. Anyway, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I already missed the football game. I'm gonna go ahead and jerk some chicken. That's pause. Pause though. But that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to jerk some chicken. That sound crazy every time I say it. I'm about to jerk some chicken. So, as always, man, love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Try a buck.
Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Stay away from cities with dyke mayors. They spray the pipes major. Don't play with your life, player. Or shake the dice, player. But if you got a quota, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. Welcome to the Daycare. timeouts. Take her allowance, cause I swear she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fucking, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, Lo, bring in the choir. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare.
Niggas need to stop giving these bitches all the attention. That's why niggas is dying now. When these hoes get horny, niggas die. Hoes get horny, niggas die. Watch, every die. We gotta start saying fuck these bitches, man. If you fucking with a cool female, that's all good. But if you fucking with a bitch, you need to break her ass and shake her ass.